Someone else would tell us if the folk I had depended upon hadn't failed me, I would not be able to tell you that God never fails. I feel Jesus coming through here right about now. Heaven and earth may pass away, but God never fails. Yes, someone else would tell us that I'm living without folk who told me they would never leave me no matter what life brought. Those same people fail right along with their promises, but God has never left me, nor has he ever forsaken me. There is another witness who would tell us that I was in darkness and in despair. I was lonely and discouraged. I was flawed, fractured, and failing. If I hadn't been in the pit, I wouldn't be able to tell you that he brought me out and placed my feet on a solid place. I wonder if you would help me testify and just tell some folk I didn't know how bad it was until I got out. Stop. You sound like you're still in there. There's got to be a bit more enthusiasm with that. You don't even have to go deep and to go all the way back. Just think how you lived through the hell of last week. The stuff that annoyed you and almost destroyed you. And here you are on Sunday looking back at last week. You need to testify to somebody and tell them, I didn't know how bad it was till I got out. Testify to somebody else and say to them, I didn't know how bad it was until I got out. Tell somebody I got out. The Message Bible translates the text to read, my troubles turned out to be the best. They forced me to learn from your decrees, or the Message Bible says, from your textbook. When you have trusted and placed your confidence in everything and everyone else, trouble can drive you to trust God. When you have taken things into your own hands and tried to manage your life and God, without a doubt, you are going to run into trouble. You remember that driver in the introduction of the lesson. The driver was warned about the road, that it has irregularities, to slow down so as to miss the holes hidden in the dark. I wonder how the person given the warning really knew about the hole. And I also wonder how they know you couldn't, if you paid attention, you could miss the hole in the dark. I have 3 streets that I go down like a habit because that's my routine. I go home almost the same way. I come here almost the same way. And here's what's the matter with me. Here is where my delayed learning is. I will drive down East 108th Street where the roads are all torn up and they patch them back together not well at all. I'll do it in the morning and I'll do it when I leave here at night. And when I leave here at night, it's dark like down in the country. I will rock and reel and go down that road and I'll say, you done it again. Here you go. Rocking and reeling. I say that. I give the same pronouncement. I don't know why I keep coming down this road. Yeah, you do. Because you won't break your habit. And many of us have a habit for pain. You better wake up and hear what I'm saying. Probably won't ever get to do this. We have a habit for pain. We keep going to the same places. We keep selecting the same kinds of people. We keep having the same kind of conversation. So when you pull out, you keep going the same way. And you just keep rocking all down around the street. And because I slow down, because the rims on my car are an awful lot of money. I have no money for rims. Let me tell you the whole truth. I have no money for mistakes. I slow down. And the people behind me who don't know anything about East 108th Street and East 105th Street, they start blowing their horn. And here's what my spirit tells me to do. Pull on over. Let them rock on down. Because when it's all over, when they get finished rocking and I come behind them, we both sitting at the corner of East 105th Street and Flatlands Avenue. Hey! You got here a little faster, but you rocked and rolled just like I did. If you want to avoid the same old pain, you got to choose a different road to ride and to walk. Insanity is, what is it? It's doing the same thing, expecting different results. So this morning on my way to the Lord's house, I remembered that at Howard Avenue, Hancock Street, that the rest of the street is torn up and that the manholes stand high and straight, that it would be a good thing for me to go down Hancock Street, break my habit of rocking and rolling and reeling. Sometimes if you got passengers, they may ask you why you going this way, and my thought is, just ride with me. Just ride with me. You know, the front seat is going, the passenger seat is going where the driver's seat. Why y'all looking at R.Chambers? She ain't had nothing to do with that. That's all. Just go with me. I made a decision this time that will keep me from rocking and reeling and messing up my tires and possibly getting my rims burnt, because I've already paid the price to know this is not the habit I need to continue. I'm almost at the end of this. I wonder how the person giving the advice knew. The warning was clear, the hole was real, and so was the danger. Yet, what should have happened, what could have happened, God did not let that consume you. He measured your trouble down to the last drop. And just when you needed to get back to the right track, that's when your trouble ended. It is because his mercies endured forever. He did not let you be in trouble forever. He has not put on you more than you are able to bear. I have issues with that too. Just in case you don't get it, I'm preaching a problem sermon this morning, because I've got problems with my own message. Yeah. Not more than I am able to bear. But did you not hear what I said while I was bearing this? I can't take no more of this. My argument is not with you all. It's my Job conversation with God. You killing me. But God is saying, I've already measured what you can stand. And you don't really know how bad it was until you come out of it and watch somebody else come down the same road you just passed through. Said, I could have told you if you'd have slowed down, you wouldn't hit that hole. And that wouldn't have been the conversation. The conversation would have been, I would have told you if you had trusted God in your process and let the process and trust God in the process. What you thought was going to cause you to snap, crackle, and pop, I thought there would have been an amen there. He will show you it only made you stronger. Mm. Yeah. Somebody here today can testify, as with the poet text, I know, Lord, that your judgments are just and that you have afflicted me fairly. My other issue, you do know that when we use the word fair with us, it's relative. Because what may be fair for somebody else may not be fair for you. And what's fair for you may not be fair for someone else. We like that saying, favor ain't fair. So let me help you finish it out. Favor ain't fair, and favor ain't free. You want the favor of God, just know he's going to press you so that the world can see just how fair God is to you, even in your trouble. Because what should have broke you? God gave you favor. He measured out your pressure and your trouble right down to the last drop. And where somebody else would have pressed you further, God said, that's enough. Back off of him. Turn him loose. Lift him up. Set him free. I'm sending my mercy and I'm sending goodness to rescue you. Yeah, there's some blessings in your trouble. Well, I want to try to close. Well, yeah, well, oh, come on soon. Hallelujah. 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 God was superintending everything that was coming your way. Lord, help me. And so since I can't say, I won't say, try not to say anymore what I can't stand and what I can't take, I start putting it in proper perspective. Because when things start rolling at me, I start doing this. You saw it when it got loose. Y'all need to stay in church with me for just a few more minutes. You saw this before it got started. Before it got to me, you knew it was coming my way. So I got to know that if you saw it coming my way, you must have put something in me somewhere to keep me from breaking and falling all apart. Yeah, I'm going to bother you now, and I'm going to quit. Will you tell a few folks he saw it coming? He saw it first. God saw it first. God saw it first. It's a terrible thing to think that something can be fixed, only to be told over and over and over again, we can't fix this. It's a terrible thing when you keep asking all the people who should know, that ought to know, say they know, and they keep looking, and they're saying, you know, if you'd have got here 12 years ago, well, look, 12 years ago, if I'd have known it, I probably would have done something else about it, but here I am, I'm here now. Disappointing as it is to hear that the hope that you was holding on to has now met its end. I want to tell you, hope never runs out. When folk can't fix things, God will give you hope to know he can keep you while you are broken. Nobody likes to be told too late. Let me tell you one more. One of my experiences, I can't talk about y'all's stuff, so I'll talk about mine because my stuff is just about like yours. So I just put my stuff out there. I had to fly to Kentucky a few years back, and I decided that morning I would do something that I never did, don't usually do for many reasons. I decided I would just drive myself to the airport, leave my car in the parking lot, and just go on through the gate. Now, back then, in those days, it wasn't quite like it is right now. You didn't have to show your cavities, all your teeth, the ones you grew, the ones you bought, the ones that's planted in, and look, you know, all of that stuff like that. You didn't have to do that. That morning, everybody decided to do the same thing I did, drive to the airport, park the car. I could not find a space anywhere. I had to park over somewhere else and then go in. And while I'm going through the airport, they are calling my name out loud. Bishop James R.Chambers. No, who does that? Bishop James R.Chambers. Who put on the ticket? And I was guest of the people in Kentucky, so they're the ones that got the ticket. And so they're calling me. You need to report. I'm saying, I'm coming. I'm doing the OJ. I just can't jump over stuff, but I'm coming. And the woman, when I got to the gate, the woman said, they closed the door. is what I need to be on that flight. And she went down, running down the ramp, and just as they was about to lock it and close it, she did something, and they opened up the door, and she said to me, "Next time, be on time." What do you think I said? I got on the plane. I ain't caring about next time. I'm here now. What I needed was the door to open up, and the flight attendant said, "Sit anywhere." Yes, ma'am. I'm going to argue with you about next time and start telling you, well, I drove myself to the airport this morning, and when I got here, the parking lot was full, and all the grannies and the grandpas was down here trying to drive. I couldn't get around them, and that's why I'm late. I heard you calling my name, so I was running down the rampway to get here, and you told me the door was open. I went in. I sat down, everybody, and I guess if anybody wanted to say anything to me, they couldn't because they had already announced my name all over the world. Bishop James, R.Chambers, report to the gate. And I was all uniformed up, so all I did was got on the plane, sat down, and I just wanted to tell you, couldn't take off without me. This plane gonna stay in the air because I'm on it. That's why they held you up. And tell me about next time. About next time. No, I'm now. And many of us tend to miss our now moment because we start telling a story of the past. You don't know what I had to go through. Yeah, well, you went through, you're here. Can you say that to somebody? You here. God was superintending everything that was coming your way, and when the adversary was trying to lay it on hard, God slipped his hand in between the adverse circumstances and cushioned the blow. What you did feel was not the full impact of the blow, but the influence of the hit. So, the full impact for me would have been if I had missed that flight. What cushioned the blow was the woman who said I was late and the door was shut. She opened it for me. And the flight attendant was standing on the other side. "Come in. Sit anywhere. I'll take your bag. Come in. Sit down anywhere." I didn't get on the plane telling anybody. You don't know how hard if I'd have missed this. I didn't. I didn't miss it. I didn't miss it. You couldn't take off without me. When you come out on the other side and your troubles release your blessing, stop singing "Somebody Done Me Wrong" song and start singing, "Look what the Lord has done for me." Yay! I'm closing. Lord, I feel my own dance coming now. I want to close this witness, but I just want to mention a few of the blessings in your troubles. You may have asked somewhere along the way, I wish I could see the blessings in this trouble. Well, I really wish I knew how this was going to turn out. Here's one. No matter what comes your way, you are blessed and you can't help it. You all are sounding real church-like, yes. Amen. True that. How many folk you know that when they are broke, they don't look like it? And we so silly. You look like new money. What you should say is thank you. Send it on, Lord. But what you, child, I ain't got a dime in this world and a dime out of this world and a dime around the world. But you look like yesterday I was guest presenter at a conference in Queens, and the presenter before me was still in her session, and we could not have timed this better. She was talking about image and inspiration, and you know, sometimes what we choose doesn't always project who we really are. So she told the story about she had cars that didn't work. So in her mind, her upgrade would have been, what was it, a Ford something. What she wanted, she had two requisites: 4 wheels and air conditioning. She drove so many hoopties. That she thought her upgrade would be 4 wheels and air conditioning. She said, you know, people saw it, that nobody, you know, so as time went along and life got better for her, she bought a Jaguar. And she said when she drove Jaguar, people who knew her would say, that looks like you. You look like you belong in that. You belong in that. Then she got a truck, a Rogue, you know, one of them. You see these little tiny ladies jumping up in these big trucks, and wheeling them. So she got that. She said, even my neighbors who don't know anything about God, they told her, that looks like you. You look like you belong in that. That belongs to you. She said, now, while I was driving what I thought was my upgrade, my Ford with 4 wheels and air conditioning, nobody said anything to me. Now, what are you saying to us, Brother Pastor? I'm saying you need to upgrade. You slow today. You need to upgrade your expectations of what God is sending you. You don't want to just come out of your troubles. You want to look like you've never been in there. I wish I had a church for at least a minute. And when you come out, people need to say to you, you look like that blessing should be on you. You wear your blessing well. You look like you are blessed and highly favored. The first word that opens this passage is blessed. So before we get to describing trouble and affliction, we start out blessed. Okay, now, Pastor, here's you know the other stuff I had trouble with? This was good for me. Okay. Here's the response to my trouble, to my conflict. Before you went into trouble, you went in blessed. Okay, you're and I can't wait for you now. I can't. While you saying, I can't take it, I can't stand it, before it got to you, you already had the hand of the Lord on you. You went in blessed. You are going through blessed. And when you come out, the bless on the end will be bigger than the bless in the beginning and the bless in the middle. Yeah. It sets the tone for the entire passage. Well, you may say, I still don't get it. Well, here it is. As bad as things are, they're not nearly as bad as they could be. How would you have managed to get through your trouble without the presence and faithfulness of God to see you through, to get you through? Your trouble should have taken you out, but God turned it around and made your trouble bless you. All right, we coming around the mountain. Here we go. Secondly, when you have messed up big time, when you have tripped and fell, when we choose foolishly, and when we were warned and missed and messed it, God never left you to pick yourself up or left you to find your own way out. He promised what no one else could commit to, that he would never leave you nor forsake you. Never. On your ugliest day, he's right there with you. On your worst day in life, he is right there with you. When others couldn't handle your trouble and walked away from you, don't hate them, it's a moment when God wants you to know him for his power, his might, and his ability to turn pain into a blessing. Closing out now. Yeah, come on. Lastly, you will be able to see the good in the bad and God in it all. You will know the meaning of Romans 8:28. And we know that all, Jesus help me again, all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. The plan and purpose of God are being fulfilled in your life, even on your perception, even on your worst day. The plan and purposes of God are being fulfilled in your life, even on what you perceive to be the worst moments in your life. Just think about the things that should have taken you out, the days that should have been your last days. Think about the people, places, and things that should have burned you up and left you for ashes. God was superintending your troubles while orchestrating your future. He's the only one that can do both at the same time, and his power is not diminished in either process. I think of Joseph's witness. It was intended and purposed for evil, but God took your evil and your purposes of destruction, reconfigured them, and what should have cursed me turned around and blessed me. What you meant for evil, God meant it for good. Help me close. Would you testify to those in your worship area? It was bad going in. Go ahead. It's going to be good coming out. Would you testify to somebody else and tell them it's bad going in? It's going to be good coming out. Testify to somebody else and tell them it's bad going in. It's going to be great coming out. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. Seal it with the praise. Seal it with the praise. Yeah. I'm coming out. I'm coming out. I'm coming out. Coming out. Woo! Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, and his mercies endured forever. Remember, every time and every place and everything which should have you not being here today, God put a blessing in it. You should give thanks with a grateful heart. You should give thanks to the Holy One. You should give thanks because he's given Jesus Christ. And now, let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich. Because of what the Lord has done for us. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because he's given Jesus Christ, God's Son. Let me do it again. And now, let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich. Because of what? What the Lord has done for us. Give thanks. Down the road, this was not where I had initially planned, but I'm open to a new thing. I won't leave anything in 2018. Everything God has in 2019, everything God's got for you, I'm going to give it to you. Down the road, my plan was to preach to you, rock bottom has a promise. And the rock bottom promise is this is far down as you can go. The only other way is out. Start looking up. So you can come out. Your clouds are being removed. He's bringing you out of the darkness. The shadow of death is leaving you. I'm speaking life into your life today. I'm asking God to give you the desire and the will to live. Because he's got no glory in the grave. Here's the glory. Here's the glory. When you can tell somebody, for many days, I thought about dying because I didn't think life was worth living. And just at my darkest, lowest, rock bottom moment, I realized that it was good for me to be here because I found myself to be helpless to help myself. And the only other thing I could do was say, Lord, have mercy. You know, God will answer other people's prayers, but he'll also answer yours, and yours don't have to be long. It could be just like that, Lord. And the moment you say, Lord, have mercy, and believe he's sending it, from the bottoms you leave. The only other way you can go is up and out. Won't you let him deliver you today? Come, I'll touch and agree with you. Come.